Hello.
Hi, we are here. We are back. Episode 2, playing with fire. We're starting a cult. Welcome back.
Oh,
That is a great episode title.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was called? I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea.
So we're starting a cult.
I just saw
I have
24
been keeping track
minutes.
of who's got the title names.
Oh, awesome.
Cool.
Who heard last week's?
Caitlin.
Okay, nice.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
and Annabelle this week.
Yeah. Yeah, I just saw like 24 minutes and I was outraged. I didn't even read it.
I thought something had gone wrong. I'm like, have they had an issue and only uploaded half the episode? Are we getting more later?
They take inspiration from Brisbane, who have had short episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're watching Brisbane.
Ooh.
There's too many LRGs. I don't have a lot of time.
There is a lot to deal with.
I plan on watching all of them.
Okay. Watch Brisbane.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't. I would have said something with a spoiler then, so I can't do that either.
Okay.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah. Fine, I'll accept the fact that I'm probably going to be spoiled.
Won't be from me. Anyway,
we're here to talk about Playing with Fire, episode 2, rather than any other LRGs that we have been associated with. Let me start with a recap, which basically confirmed the merge idol, which The Rock, we're assuming, and 2 Flint idols. So 3 idols in play currently. Thoughts?
Right. Yeah. I thought Tash said when at the start of the episode she was talking about the Rock idol that if she takes it, she has to use it that tribal.
Yeah, I heard her say that too.
So
like, has she been told that? Like, is she assuming, or is she meaning like if she takes it, everyone's going to know, and she kind of has to use it then?
Right.
Well, it also could be part of the rules. Like, we don't necessarily know that we read the rules of what the idol is. So is it in the parchment that she read? Like the rules about it?
I would like to know.
Yeah. But like, she didn't seem 100% certain that that's what it was either. She was like, going through the rest of the parchment. So we don't know.
Yeah, and it's weird because like I think we saw Dale's idol, the first one that we've seen played. That was like a bit of colored wood or something.
Well, that was the Flint idol.
Right.
Yeah, it's not the pre-merge idol, because the pre-merge idol is the one that Tash found the clue for.
And Brady's got the clue on the other side.
Brady has a clue for it also. Brady found the idol clue and the Flint idol. So there's 2 idols, the Flint idols, and then a pre-merge idol, which we assume is the Rock.
Right.
Yeah. And then when Dale played his idol, the Flint was still on it when he played it, but then Brady took his off.
So Dale just like gave away the Flint.
But going back to Dale's idol, so like we've skipped ahead to hearing about Tash and her thoughts. But so Dale's big thing about revealing to everybody that he had the idol was that he thought John had seen him. And so that he assumed that John would tell everybody. And John was like, I didn't see it. I found out after everybody. Dale told everybody for no reason because he thought that John saw him, and John apparently didn't.
John was probably standing like somewhere off in the distance, like, oh, he totally saw me, because you think it's like the most obvious thing ever, but I don't think it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, we heard from John and Marina that Dale was pretty paranoid.
Yeah. And then once he had the idol, it was just like quite annoying.
Yeah.
And she said he had it for like 12 hours, which, the episode before made it seem like he found it right before tribal. And he found it the night before, right? Because then they campfired overnight, and then he had it into the morning. So he clearly was very paranoid. And holding onto an idol for 12 hours, thinking that someone saw you find it, I'm sure would make you very paranoid. So if I don't know if there's something he could have done better. Maybe talk to we say John that saw him find it, or something. But I think there are definitely better uses for his idol other than just telling everyone and throwing it away, basically. Yeah.
Well, that's like a tricky thing, because like he told everybody based on the fact that he thought John would tell everybody, but then there was no confirmation. But in that moment, you're like, oh, do I ask them? Because at that point they weren't on the same like alliance, really.
Yeah,
John
and if you
was
do think
very
that
close with
you want to get in before he does.
Yeah.
Like, given the chance to tell everyone, you want to be on the front foot and being like, look at me, I'm this trustworthy guy. I found an idol. I'm going to tell everyone.
Yeah. And hopefully it did build trust. I don't know if it built trust or just made people think that he was really paranoid. But what it did do is it made John seem a little bit more sketchy because people weren't sure. I think later we see Ash talks about believing whether John saw him find it or not, which sort of puts him in an awkward position. So, yeah, unfortunately for John, it does put him in a little bit of a bad position because of that.
All right. The man himself is here. He just told my ears are burning. He wasn't paranoid. He just didn't trust Marina, who had given it to him, so he wanted it gone.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Also, Dale, since we have you, we need to know: are you a Dance Moms fan?
Oh, I thought we were going to wait for his.
No, I want to know
now. He said, and John. Oh, I clicked the wrong. All right.
Actually.
And John was really close and looking right at me.
So maybe John's just not very observant then.
Anyway, all right. But in terms of going back to the clue, so we know that Tash had found the clue for the rock idol, but now John is unsure about Tash because he knows how Dale found his idol and doesn't believe Tash and her clue, thinks she's making it up out of her ass without realizing that there are two idols in play, which is a very interesting dynamic. Oh, here we go. He answered your question. His old roommate was obsessed.
Sure. The old roommate. Yeah.
Sure, I understand. I think because you quoted Dance Moms in your intro video. We had to ask. Anyway, so that's a very interesting dynamic between Tash and John moving forward.
Well, we didn't see Tash show John the clue.
No, we still haven't seen that. Yeah.
She obviously told them about it, but she must have just told them what the clue said as opposed to actually physically showing them the parchment. And if they're not believing her, then that's why you actually go, here it is. It's a fucking rock. Just a fucking stick.
I get that. Like, if someone tried to tell me it was a rock, I'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
Sure, mate.
Especially when you'd seen someone else play another idol and it's not a rock. And then your alliance is telling you that, no, it's a rock. The clue tells me it's a rock. How can I just a fucking rock? So, yeah, that's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, I think... Sorry, Dani. Lucas said before, just in a comment, that someone left I think it was the idols and stuff at home. So they had to sort of make something up. So I think that's why we had a rock. If I saw a rock as an idol, I'd be very confused as well. I'd be like, what the fuck is this? So, yeah.
I like that the idols look kind of shit. Like it makes it easier to make a fake idol.
There you go. There's no footage. We haven't seen it because Tash never showed them.
If you're gonna share the clue with them, show it. Be transparent.
100%.
Unless you're lying about it, then obviously don't. But if you're telling them the full truth, then show them.
Yeah.
Yep. Gain more trust. 100%.
All right. And that's when we get back to where we hear her talking about the clue. Hear her say that if she takes it, she has to play it. We don't know whether that's rules. We don't know whether that's her thinking. I mean, it would also, in my head, if you took the rock, would it be a little odd? If you had gone into go into vote and the rock's not there and it was there last time, do you twig or are you so focused on voting? Like, what do we think there?
Well, I mean, the rock's there for practical reasons as well. So do we come in and just the parchment's like all blowing away? Like, surely they'd put something else down.
Yeah. I just put the thing that you put the votes in. I forget the actual word for it, but just chuck that on there, the urn, and just take the rock. Like, if I'm voting,
huge rock though.
It's a.
Like,
where are you putting that?
Huge, I know.
Where are you putting that?
Her jumper is huge though.
But
she's got a very baggy jumper on, so you could probably hide it.
I know, but you'd be like, well, you had to have to carry it. You couldn't just tuck it in something. Like the weight of a rock.
Yeah.
Like we were talking last week about how Marina said she didn't think that she could hide the idol somewhere. I was like, that can be hidden anywhere. That's pockets of
big ass rock. Imagine putting that in your bra and you come back with like
that's like a third boob.
Yeah. Or if you're a guy, you just got like a huge bulge or something like something. Just come back from voting and it's just not a good look.
Like, did
you got too excited in the voting booth.
Someone got a bit excited voting someone else out.
Look, it is exciting.
It is an exciting
CK
thing to do.
is very eager to get to it. So
yeah.
Well, let's get to the yellow tribe. Yellow.
I loved this whole sequence like before the challenge.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. They're giving us really good professionals.
Annabelle has some serious main character energy.
Yes,
true.
So we start with Rosie now being confused that everybody's all kumbaya, because last episode she was loving that everybody was kumbaya. This episode she's like, ooh, I don't know what's going on. She thinks that CK and Annabelle are in charge, which again doesn't surprise me. Because Annabelle is super charismatic.
Yeah, and she's worried that she'll put too much trust in Annabelle and then get stabbed in the back for it. I think, though, that's something that if you're aware of it, it's pretty easy to monitor.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think, Ethan?
Yeah, I agree with you, Dani, and Jules. I think that whole Yellow Tribe sequence before the challenge was great. It was really fun to watch. It was actually good to see people having conversations. Something that I noted down is that this episode, we saw a lot of confessionals, and especially after the challenge, and not a lot of just conversations like we did beforehand. So to see that Yellow was like trying to figure out who to vote out, even though they weren't going to tribal, I thought was super interesting. And it sort of showed like clear tribal divide with like a core 5 and then a few people on the out. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens when they do actually go to tribal. If they go to tribal, I don't have faith in this red tribe, to be honest. So
we'll get to the challenge
in
a minute.
For a swap, surely.
We're still with Yellow Fuego. Let's not get to our thoughts from the challenge.
But yeah, no, we see them talking about splitting between Brady and Chloe.
Yeah, doing a 3-3 split, which is super interesting for a first.
Yeah, you must have a lot of faith in Laurel if she's not part of your alliance, but you're including her in a split. Like, okay,
yeah, and then we get the brilliant montage of Laurel talking about bottoms.
I love it. She's like, get your mind out of the gutter if you know that's where mine was.
My mind was in the gutter.
Yeah, 100%. I went straight to the gutter. Bottoms on bottoms. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was really funny. But it was so smart as well, because you don't often see people talking about how the people on the bottom of the alliance should come together and vote out the people on the top. You know, so to hear that side of things was like, oh my God, finally someone is saying what I want to hear.
Yeah, we saw Brady considering it as well.
Yeah.
He was sort of saying that, oh, okay, right now we've been told to vote Laurel, but, you know, we should probably try and pick her up and go after an Annabelle, because she is very charismatic and she's a very dangerous player.
Yeah.
We stand against all violence, including bottom against bottom.
Bottom on bottom, that's just, can't have that. But yeah, I think it would be interesting if the Yellow do eventually go to tribal, if Brady and Chloe are able to pull some numbers in and blindside Annabelle, like that would be a massive blindside. She would not.
I would love to see that.
And it's actually, it was the first time out, and that being the first tribal council, it would definitely make for epic viewing. That's for sure.
It would shake things up, and then CK would be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah, and I would also live for that revenge tour. That would be a lot of fun.
Yes,
that would be a lot of fun.
And that's when he'll go on my predicted winner arc.
So Brady's aligned with Chloe. He also thinks Annabelle is dangerous, and the audio at this point in time got really shitty. So I was like, volume up, trying so hard to hear what people were saying. And then we get the quote from the episode title. They start talking about the cult they're making.
I couldn't see who it was, but someone said to Annabelle, "We're making a fake idol." She's like, "Love that for you. We're starting."
Miss CK. I can tell from his voice. Yeah, love that for you. We're starting a cult.
And Ma's going to do all the propaganda, which, that makes sense.
Yeah, a super left cult planning to target private school kids with family money and do an ayahuasca ceremony. And then Ma's like, I don't want to do an ayahuasca ceremony.
I don't know what that is.
I looked it up. Hold on. I have it. Oh, my phone.
Ayahuasca is just like a hallucinogen, like a really strong hallucinogen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a psychoactive brew, basically meant to trip.
Trip ball sacks. Honestly, I don't know if they added that in because it was really funny or because they needed like length onto the episode. So
I think
like
because it was funny. And like, otherwise we're not going to see the Yellow Tribe. Like, they didn't go tribal. They need content.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you caught it at the end of the conversation. Ma's like, after throwing up, we'll steal their blood, which I thought was so vicious and cold-blooded. And I just loved it. I loved it.
At this point, they're not even 24 hours into the game. They can't be that hungry. Where is this coming from?
I thought Ma said we're going to steal their wallets, but I could have heard wrong.
I think she said both.
She
said during the conversation something about stealing money and wallets or something, and then at the end it was, we'll steal their blood after vomiting.
Wow.
So they got all the crazy people and put them on one tribe.
That's hilarious.
I agree.
And then the mini challenge.
The mini challenge.
Let's go, Ethan. Come on. Give me your thoughts.
Wait, are we calling it, is this RuPaul's Drag Race calling it a mini challenge?
Mini challenge. The pseudo challenge.
I'm like stunned for words. Like, I don't know what to say. I was expecting I don't know what, I was just expecting a lengthy, normal, regular fucking challenge. And then I get 11 to 12 seconds of Red pulling a rope out. Like it was
Red weren't pulling the rope. They were just standing there.
Yellow
they were just standing there. That's right. Yellow. I honestly, I don't know what to say. I don't know if that was a backup challenge or something happened to the real challenge. And, because...
Could they have fixed it? Is there something they could have done differently to make it a bit more fair?
Yep. They could have not done that fucking challenge.
No, I think with the whole puzzle tug of war thing, they could have had at least one person from each tribe nominated to start on the puzzle, because as soon as Marina left, you're down another person. Yeah. So maybe if they had someone, but I mean, I don't think it would have made that much of a difference.
I mean, it could have been.
Brady says not voted out Scott.
I think like we saw in the first episode of Canberra, they did a tug of war challenge. Correct me if I'm wrong. However, it was one-on-one. It was one-on-one, so it could have been something more like that with a puzzle involved, and that way you have longevity, you have some content. Whereas I don't know if they actually tested out this challenge, but tug of war normally doesn't go more than 10 seconds.
If they're evenly matched, it does. I think the problem is if you look at the physical makeup of both tribes. On the Yellow Tribe, you've got CK, you've got Brady, you've got Max, who are all big, strong guys, and then on Red, you've got John and Ash. No offense to those guys, but they're just not as big as the other guys.
But Dale's there.
Dale's one person.
No, I know, but they were fun. I'm trying to give them a little bit more power. Yes, I agree. It's unevenly weighed, but I don't think it should have been that big of a blowout. I think that's ridiculous.
No, and Annabelle's taking all the credit for it at the end, so
I like that. But just going back to just before the challenge, where Liz asked for the immunity idol back, I think she asks maybe one question, and then the challenge starts. And I'm trying to think whether she asked more questions and it wasn't included, or if she just asked one question and that was it. I wanted to hear more of Yellow Tribe, what were your thoughts about, this person being voted off on the other tribe, asking how things are going, just asking more, just even general questions to just see what people are thinking at that point in time. So I'm not sure what that was like for Liz and at that point in time, but I would have liked to have gotten more information out of the the players out of the survivors, and to again add more content, because it was just nothing there.
Can I just address something Tasha said in the comments, that we're completely discrediting the women here? No, I'm not. I think the women were fairly evenly matched on the two tribes. It's where the guys were that there was a bit of a discrepancy. I think if it was just all the women together, it would have been pretty even.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually came up with a little fun game, guys, if you want to play.
Oh yeah.
I consulted the Guinness World Records, and I'm going to give you a record, and you have to tell me if it is shorter or longer than the duration of this challenge. So do you guys want to vote on them, or do you want to take it in turns?
Let's vote.
Yeah.
Vote? All right.
Yes.
So the world record for the fastest time to tie a shoelace, longer or shorter?
Shorter.
Dani?
Longer.
It was 15.5 seconds, so it's longer.
Gosh, fucking shoelace.
Dani.
Wait.
All right. The fastest time for someone to tie a Windsor knot.
I don't even know what that is.
Like a tie, like a guy's tie.
Oh, shorter.
Longer.
That one's shorter, 10.92 seconds. Coming back.
Just.
Like a second.
Look, they're close. The world record for someone to score in an NHL game.
Oh, NHL.
Shorter.
I'm gonna say shorter as well.
Yeah, that was 4 seconds. That was real short. The fastest time for someone to unravel a toilet roll with one hand.
I don't know where you found these. I'm gonna say longer.
I found it on the Guinness Records website.
Who's doing this in their spare time? Just like
there's a
practicing.
record for anything.
Yeah, I think we both said longer.
You are both wrong. It's 9.8 seconds.
Oh shit! All right.
That person's a machine.
All right, it's 2-2, so we'll keep going until one of you gets one wrong. The fastest time to deal a deck of cards.
Shorter.
Both saying shorter. It's actually longer.
Oh.
15.3 seconds. The fastest time to peel and eat an entire grapefruit.
Don't even know what fuck grapefruit looks like, to be honest.
Longer.
I'm gonna say longer as well.
Like it should be shorter. I don't
need you to disagree if we're going to have a winner, guys. That is longer. That was 14.2 seconds.
Let's go.
The fastest time for someone to stack a set of dominoes.
A set of dominoes. I want to say longer as well.
Guys, I need you to disagree. I don't have that many written here. All right, last one. Fastest.
Was it right?
Sorry. That one was
dominoes.
The dominoes. That was 13.16 seconds. That's longer.
Longer.
Let's go.
All right, last one. Fastest time to stack 10 tins.
Shorter.
Yeah, I was going to say shorter too.
Oh my God. You are both right. That's 9.2 seconds.
Yeah, we'll end on a tie.
These guys are wanting to challenge the shoelace record. That's 15.5 seconds. I think that maybe that's like threading the shoelace as well, surely.
That's what yeah. Because that's why I said shorter, because I was
Take it up with Guinness. I took it from their website directly, so. But yeah, I thought that was a bit of fun.
I think this might have been the shortest challenge.
Well, hold on, before
Survivor history.
A comment from Luca said they had another idol option like they did in the first challenge where they could take off the tug of war and go and grab an idol, but no one did it.
I mean, it didn't add any length to the challenge, did it? So,
and like we said last week, you just
might not have got there in time.
Yeah, you might not have got there. And then he turned around to sneeze and then turned back and it was over. That's what I mean. Like I kind of blinked and missed it. Like I had to go back and watch what the fuck happened.
Yeah. And like someone in the challenge was like, "Is that it?" Like
John,
it was over.
John has issue with. He said,
"Check the record. Entire shoe.
Lace the entire shoe."
Yeah, so that's misinformation from you, Jules. So I want to take that one back and get my my point back. So
well, Dani got a point for it. So
well, Dani cheated then.
You guys that's exactly what her daughter told me when I beat her in a game that I cheated. So, I don't know what's going on with these Sydney folk. You like to accuse other people of cheating.
Well, maybe you just cheaters. All right. Anyway,
these Melbourneites of cheating, but anyway, let's continue. Yeah.
Sorry, go.
It was still, I mean, it was a lot of nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a lot, but it's not. Like, it's just like a lot to like process that it was nothing.
Yeah.
It's absolute blowout.
Just straight back to tribal. Like, they just left and they're back there again. Like,
yeah, like I feel like we got more time watching them pose on the rope than we did pulling the rope. Like we got from Marina, and we saw like the booty shaking from Annabelle.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know what to say. It's just like it's a little disappointing. It's very funny. I just don't know what they were thinking with this challenge. I want to know the thought process. I want to know if they tried it out. I want to know like what they thought would happen with this challenge. Like, you need content, you need a little bit of longevity. None of that was there. So
and then if that happens, do you not then like maybe on the fly think, okay, actually we're going to do this like best of 3, and then you do
challenge,
but then you do girls and girls, you do guys and guys.
Yeah, you do like 2 on 2, or
like,
you know.
Yeah, like so you're like, all right, that goes to the yellow team. Now let's do 2 more and like put some parameters around it, just so that you get a little bit more like
get a competition.
Yeah, because I would like even doing that. I would have been like, oh.
Yeah, maybe the winners.
Yeah,
winners get.
You know, like hyped up for a challenge. Like, yeah, we got this, and then it's like, oh, is that it? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm sure there's lots they could have done to make it a proper challenge, and it just wasn't done. So it's unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. Hopefully we won't see that happen again. Otherwise you'll be hearing me rant and bitch. So
well, part of me hopes we do see it again so that we can all right, and so we're back to the Red Tribe, back to tribal, back at camp. What's happening?
Yes, we've got an alliance there with John, Tash, Caitlin, and Kate.
Yep.
Yeah, Dani, your winner pick, and Tash was someone we all had quite high, so I think we're all happy to see that.
Yes.
Did we? I love that.
I think, our average had Tash as the highest for everyone on average.
Tash, you let us down. Like, you're dead to me. Like, don't let me down.
What are you saying?
Harsh?
No, just joking. Come on.
Well, no, like we're happy to see her and Caitlin.
Yeah,
like
I know.
At the, the tribe.
I'm happy as well.
That's all we want.
But if she lets me down, like,
she may not come on the podcast. Can we be
just joking? Just joking. No, we all want her to do well. I
think she is doing well. Like, you know, when we see her in her confessionals, I think she's in a good position. She knows what's going on. Yeah, I really like the way she's playing at the moment.
So when we first get back, it looks like all eyes are on Ash and Dale from the first conversations.
Tash pressure.
No pressure, Tash. No pressure. It's already happened, so you know.
Yeah, can't change it now.
Not like it's live. So yeah, it was interesting to see those 2 names come forefront straight away.
Yeah.
And then it kind of swings in roundabouts when Dale reveals to everybody that Marina was the one who actually found the idol and told him to take it.
Yeah, and he made it seem like he said, oh, she didn't want it, so she told me to get it, which I mean, obviously we saw an edited product, but is that what happened? Did she say, I don't want it, you take it? Or was it, I don't have anywhere to put it, pick it up?
Because the edit that we saw was kind of her being like, yeah, it's there, grab it.
Yeah.
So that was the most that we got out of it. So
yeah, I mean, if I find an idol, I'm not saying, oh, look, there's an idol, go grab it. Like, I'm like diving and getting it out of their hands. Like, that's my idol. So for her to say to Dale, like, oh, there it is, get it. I'm not sure if that's her being maybe a little anxious about getting it, or if it was actually her being like, oh, I didn't have anywhere to put it, so I didn't want to get it. So I'm interested to find out the actual reason why she didn't get the idol for herself. I don't really see any downsides to getting it.
She didn't have anywhere to put it,
but yeah.
Here we go.
Put it somewhere.
Dale exaggerated.
Yeah, which is what you do. Like, he heard his name coming up. He was on the outs.
Smart.
Do anything you can to save yourself.
I mean, it worked.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked. The vote flipped completely from looking at Dale Ash as potentials to everyone being very much on the Marina train.
Yeah, well, it sort of seemed to happen in a Tash confessional. She was saying that, Dale had told her that Marina pointed out the idol, and then she said she had a line she could be secretly devious, and then it was just like, I don't know if we have time, but let's switch it. And so obviously that worked.
Again, pushing the power that Caitlin and Tash have to be able to
have
enough allies that trust in them for a last-minute switcheroo.
Yeah.
There
was a scene where Ash and John are having a conversation, and Ash told John that he threw him under the bus. I'm like, dude, that's not smart.
Yeah.
Don't tell someone you're going to vote for them.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I was getting like Gabon flashbacks of Corinne being told she's getting voted for. Like, excuse me?
Yeah. If someone says to my face, like, I was throwing you on the bus, like, I'll
all right, sorry, how do I spell your name? Okay, Ethan.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. So, yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see John go around talking to other people like, I want Ashley gone.
Well, we may see that because we're obviously getting, we saw with this other episode, we've got more flashbacks. People talking about like even like professionals that we had just after Tribal. Hopefully we'll see a bit more of that dynamic moving forward, because I like you guys assuming that this is not the last Tribal Council we're going to for Red Fuego. So that will hopefully play out in some. Here we go. John Moore's pushing for Ash instead of Dale before the vote's belong to Marina. It's just a very odd thing to say. I was like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Keep that to yourself.
Yeah, don't tell the person you were gonna vote for them.
No.
No, never. It just gives people wiggle room. Like just gives people wiggle room. We saw it even in like season 1 of Australian Survivor where Flick tells Elle that she's gonna vote for her like at Final 4.
Yeah,
and Elle's like, oh, fuck that. Then Flick is the one who gets the Final 4, roughly around there.
And especially if you're in the minority and you see an alliance forming that you're not part of, you kind of want to keep yourself around as long as you can to hopefully make some inroads. You don't want to paint a target on your back.
Yeah,
and you don't tell a member of a majority alliance, like people who have numbers, because John's clearly in with Caitlin and Tash, who are running the tribe. You're silly. And then, spoiler of all spoilers, Marina gets the vote because she's devious and they don't trust her.
Yeah, and it just didn't seem like she was able to make any close connections like Scott with her social gameplay. I think it was Tash or someone said that like she just wasn't giving them anything. Like there was just nothing that really there.
Yeah, I think that was Caitlin.
Caitlin, right. Just saying that Marina just wasn't really giving her anything.
Yeah.
And in a social gameplay, like a social game, like you need to give someone something. You have to personal stories, like little bits of information, like truths. You have to like give them something to allow them to trust you and get to know you as a person and hopefully create these alliances. And it just seemed like Marina was a little closed off to doing that.
And that's what we saw on Yellow Tribe. Like they're making a cult and making a fake idol. Like it doesn't matter what you're talking about. If you're bonding over anything, that's a start of a good alliance.
Yeah.
If you're not revealing anything about your life or...
Sorry, but it doesn't like in that speed of a game, it doesn't have to be much. No. Just like 1 or 2 things just to make inroads in relationships when things are moving so quickly. Like it's just...
Yeah, have a conversation with someone, share something about your life, ask them about theirs. Yeah, a 5-minute conversation can make a huge difference.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%. 100%. Maggie agrees, 100%.
Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we? From Brady.
Yeah. I cut you guys short last week, and I thought we'd run a little longer this week, but this is such a kind of episode.
We've got half the content to talk about.
Yeah,
Marina will be here soon because we are running a little earlier than I advised that we would be. With
the votes,
what was the breakdown?
I can't 5-2.
5-2, yeah. So it was.
So Marina and Ash voted for Dale.
Okay.
And Dale voted for someone called Marianne. Not sure who that is, but yeah.
Yep.
An interesting chat at the Tribal. Marina said she'd only heard one serious name, and then Liz asked, all right, well, so what is a serious name? Like, what does she mean by that? I've only had one serious name.
Right.
Well, I mean, we can ask her that. In my head, I think like, CK. She gives him an idol and he can't even get her name right.
Yeah, the least you could do is get a name right.
Yeah. I think at that point, like you've heard lots and lots of like when you're having discussions, you're talking about lots of people in the group. You're kind of like weighing up like who, like say they're talking about Dale and Ash, which one do we go? And then you leave it off being like, yes, that's the person. So maybe that's what that means by like one serious name. Like we all agreed, yes. On this, we talked about a couple of people, but this is the one we kind of landed on. This was my takeaway for what she meant by like a serious name.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, at the end there, after she's voted out, she did say she had an inkling that she was going to be voted out. If personally, if I have an inkling that I'm going to be voted out, I'm not just going to go down with the ship, so to speak. Like I'm going out fighting. So,
but then like there are times when you think you might be getting voted out, and you like when that trial game that I played with Annabelle, going into that tribal, I had a funny feeling that I was getting votes, but I was just like, no, I'm being paranoid. I'm just telling myself that was the case. When trust your gut.
Yeah.
So, but maybe that's what happened.
Yeah, for sure. It's hard. You can't act. It's hard to know unless you're 100% certain. Someone comes up to you and says like you're the one being voted out. Like I don't want you to be blindsided. Then it's a different story. But you're definitely right. Like if you're not 100% sure, and then you say something or do something when you're not the one to get voted out, you're just gonna get yourself voted out anyway. So.
And we've seen that happen time and time again, where someone is not the vote but gets paranoid, starts talking about it too much, and then they go, you know what? Let's vote them out because they're annoying.
Yeah, big old switcheroo. We saw it plenty of times in the most recent season of Australian Survivor where the vote just was flipped at tribal council because, like, you know what? Fuck this person. And speaking of the boot, here she is. Melina, welcome.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Can you hear me? Yes, can you hear us? How are you?
Happy New Year. Sorry, I'm good. I'm good. Sorry.
That's okay. How are you doing it? What, 2 years in the making to talk about?
I know. I don't know how much I can help you guys with more info.
Oh, there's lots you can tell us.
Okay. Okay.
So are you living in WA now, or are you just over there on holiday?
No, we're on holidays. So we came
nice.
to visit a friend. So this is not my background. We're just here visiting, and of course it's absolutely bucketing down, raining and freezing cold, whereas it's really nice in Melbourne. So
it is.
Yeah. Sounds about right. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. I'm very excited to talk to you and sort of learn and get some of your experiences. I know it's been a long time. 2 years is a very long time. The first thing I wanted to ask you is, are you a little disappointed with a 24-minute episode being the episode where you were booted?
Yeah, I was a bit surprised. Mostly because I wanted to know what happened. I wasn't in the game for very long, and I, because of personal stuff, didn't really sort of keep up with everyone afterwards. So I was really looking forward to seeing a lot more of the convo that happened. I mean, I spoke to a few people afterwards because I hung around and sort of got a little bit of insight, but I really wanted to get a bit more in depth as to why me? So, yeah, it was a bit disappointing, but it was a good episode. I thought it was interesting and it was fun, so it's fine.
What did you find interesting about it? Sorry.
No,
a little bit of shade there.
Yeah, no, look, it was interesting hearing sort of what happened in the background a little bit as to why they sort of switched to me. Because I don't think I was necessarily on I was probably on the radar because I was mentioned in the first episode, but I don't think I was the person that they were sort of looking to vote out. So that was interesting, sort of seeing their thought process in terms of why they thought I was being sketchy, which I was not. But that's
Dale was the one who CK has a here. Dale snaked you. You gave him an idol, and he fucking was just like
Dale.
And then he doesn't even know your name.
You don't have to monitor your selfie.
No, I'm not, because Dale's great. He's wonderful. But I sort of went, like, one of the reasons, it wasn't just the fact that I couldn't wear it on my outfit, because I had a giant red parka on. I don't know if a pink parka that I could have hidden an idol. But I thought, what's the quickest way to make sort of an alliance-ish? So I was like, dude, there's an idol. I know you've got it. I know you've got it. Let's be friends. And then that kind of, he got a bit crazy with the idol, where he thought everyone was going to get the idol. And I begged, like, they didn't show it, but I begged him. I was like, nobody's voting for you. Just nobody knows you've got it. Can you just keep the idol? So that's kind of where it went downhill. Fucking Dale.
So we saw you have a close relationship with Ash. Was there anyone else that you felt particularly close to?
I mean, I thought I was friendly with Dale. Look, honestly, that's one of the things I really struggled with in the game. It's so fast. Like, I know there's a lot of time to sort of, because we got that first night, but it moves really quickly.
So
and
quickly.
Yeah, I found it really, I didn't even get around to talking to everyone in that time. Whereas I think a lot of the other, and I think that first sort of vote, when we first split off into sort of two groups, that first group kind of stuck together a little bit better, except for Scott. Everybody sort of stuck together a little bit better than our group, which were kind of misfits and sort of just running around. So I didn't really get to know anyone, which is sad. So I'm really looking forward to sort of seeing how the game goes and getting to know them a little bit more, I guess.
Yeah, as are we all. One thing that's a really common theme within Survivor as a whole is that for a lot of people, their age and even their sex is something that relates people together. Do you think potentially being an older woman, that maybe, I don't know how old you are. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to say for the.
You're in a podcast with older women. What are you talking about?
I'm not trying to be rude.
We're like the three of us are the same age, and then you're the odd one out here.
Older than me, older than the other
Everyone's
girls.
older
I'm not
than
sure.
you.
I'm not
You're
sure.
a baby.
Marina, I apologize. I'm not trying to be offensive or disrespect you.
I lied about my age. I lied about my age to the group, and I was still a good 5 years older than the other people there. I was.
How old did you say you were?
I think I said I was 33 or 30. I think I was 37 or 38 or something. Like, it was, I'm 40 now, so I don't know what that means. Yes, I shaved like a few years off, and I was still, when everybody else said their age, I was still like, oh, like, I'm still really old. So I don't know if that, I don't know if that made a difference. It probably did. But I don't think there was enough time for them even to realize that we probably had very little in common because of my geriatric age. I don't know.
Can we just say, 38, that's not old, Ethan.
Compared to the 22-year-olds, I was like,
yeah.
I wasn't trying to say
mentally at that point in time. So
my body hurt after the first night's sleep. I was like,
it's a lot. It's a lot sleeping on the ground.
Yeah.
Well, did you enjoy yourself? Was it a good experience for you?
I had a great time. I really did. I had a really good time. It was amazing seeing the whole show, the amount of work that goes into it, and behind the scenes and all the support crew and stuff were really amazing. I hung around to see sort of, Final Tribal and stuff like that, and just watching everything sort of happen, which is really cool. We picked the worst possible weekend. It was so cold. It was awful. So I was quite I remember I'd forgotten that I'd said that on my exit interview, but I was quite happy to be I'm out. I'm good. Yeah. I'm going to go home. I only live about 40 minutes, so I actually went home for the night, came back in the morning. I was like,
nice.
So it was really good. I'm trying to convince my partner to go on.
Yes.
He's even worse than me at outdoorsy stuff, so I don't think so. But
what made you apply?
I mean, I've always wanted to go on actual Survivor, and then I just saw it on Twitter one day, and I was just like, "Fuck it, I'm going to do it." Like, I just kind of did it, and I don't think I realized how interconnected everybody else is. Like, I wasn't part of this little like virtual reality game thing. Like, I didn't know you could play Survivor virtually, so I didn't do any research. I kind of just applied and went, great, I got in, let's go. And then I got there and I was like, fuck, everybody knows each other. Like, what am I going to do? So yeah, I'd say to anybody, just go nuts. It's great. It's really good.
100%. Like it's just like, what have you got to lose at that point in time? It's so much fun, especially women. Yeah, especially women in LRGs. Like, the more women that we can get involved, the better. The more rounded out cast will be. Like, on behalf of all states, who I know we're getting women to play.
I mean, I loved it. Our cast is super diverse. I really
your cast is amazing. One of a really, really great cast.
Yeah.
As it says, everyone knows Laurel. That was like, is still hilarious to me. That the amount of people who know Laurel.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, was that freaking you out when everyone's like, "Yeah, I know Laurel. I know Laurel. I know Laurel."
Well, when the first, I think it was Annabelle and Kate, I was like, "Oh, that's really random. They know each other. How bizarre!" And then it was just like, "No. We all everybody just knows Laurel. Everybody knows everybody else." Oh, okay.
Yeah. So once you're in, it's a very small community to kind of like to say that you don't know someone in some degree of separation from somebody else.
Yeah. No, that was quite fun.
Helpful to have them reveal who knew who.
Not for me, because I didn't know anyone.
Yeah.
So I think maybe if like, you know, if you know one person and that person knows somebody else, then you sort of can do that by proxy. You can sort of become an alliance with them. But because I didn't know anyone, it didn't help me, I don't think, and I don't think it would have. But I think it's helpful to do that, and I think it's a bit more upfront. It's a bit more of a, you know, an even playing field if you can sort of, you know, flush out those relationships to start with.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. What did you think of that tug of war challenge?
That was my next question.
So we had a conversation beforehand where it was established that we were never going to win the tug of war. So it was not going to happen. And so what was decided, and I don't know who it was, it could have been me, I don't know, I can't remember. But we decided as a group that instead of sort of like, they would just hold on and I would get the puzzle done. Because I'm legitimately I'm quite good at puzzles. I mean, everyone says that, but I'm quite good at puzzles. So I was like, I'm confident I can get the puzzle done. And having seen the puzzle afterwards, I would have killed that puzzle. But I didn't even get there. Like, I didn't even pick up a piece. So in hindsight, I still kind of think it was the right decision. I don't know. I mean, oh fuck, I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't have got rid of Scott. But I don't think it would have helped. Honestly, like, he's not going to... It was such a blowout. I don't think one extra white guy was going to... Oh, one extra strong person. Sorry, I won't call you white guy.
No,
one extra strong person wasn't going to hold the thing.
Did you watch the blow up from our last podcast?
Yeah, he was not happy.
Well, it looks like the two of you had a little incident on the sidelines after you were both voted out. Luca, coming.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have told him that that's why he got voted out. And that wasn't and to be fair, it wasn't the only reason. There were other reasons. The fact that I picked that he was a cop. He wasn't really, I don't know. Nobody was like, no, keep Scott. So that's a problem. Right?
Yeah.
Corner going, no, I don't want to do that because Scott, like, that's a problem. So that's not the only reason, but it was as good a reason as any. And as far as I was concerned, I was doing that anybody but me. So whatever.
Yeah. And I mean, we asked him who he felt close to, and he said no one. So if you're not close to anyone,
when you can't name anybody that you're close to, who's going to vouch for you, you're done.
That's what should happen. Like, somebody can go, yeah, maybe, but let's go Dale, the other white straight guy, like, you know, but that didn't happen because
he had an idol.
He had an idol.
Well, he had an idol, but really, he had people that he was talking to. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I happen to be the person that told him that that's why. Maybe I shouldn't have, and he fucking cracked it.
Oh, is that on video? Like, can I see that?
Was it on film?
No, I mean, look, I get that you're salty. It's fine. I understand, but it's also just it's a game, and
yeah.
Nobody was going to be happy being the first boot.
No.
Tough
and there
titties,
is
mate.
so much luck involved as well, especially in the early boots. That it is hard to swallow, but.
Yeah, he was probably right. Where our tribe, like the other tribe, was up all night chatting and stuff. Our tribe, I was in bed, but like I wasn't the first one because I refused to be the first one. But our tribe was in bed early, so you know, there was a bit chatting in the tent, but he wasn't in the tent. So you know, I mean, whatever.
It's super interesting. Like what? Like in like that first night, like why are you asleep so early? Because I know in that group, like, may not be as people who are like super gameplay, but there's fans. Like Dale's a super fan, you're a fan, you want to do the real thing. Scott's a super fan. I know John's a fan. Like people who are like why are you asleep so early when you know that relationships are so key, especially in a fast-paced game? Like I didn't understand that at all.
I mean, what you're saying makes sense. It's I don't. It's just I don't know. I think the other tribe, to be fair, had a lot more sort of bold out there characters and people. Our tribe was much more subdued. It's much more subdued. There was never going to be. We weren't, you know, starting cults and things on our side. It was pretty plain.
Why not?
I don't know.
Because they were asleep, Jules.
I would have joined the cult, but you know, it was cold and I was tired, and I'm old apparently. So we just, you know,
you're not old. You're not old.
Can't take it back, Ethan.
Yeah, you said it. It's recorded. It's done.
Yeah,
made a mistake.
Whatever.
Well, it was enjoyable to watch you play. When all the
were they Gryffindor gloves? Dani wants to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, I think CK made a comment earlier. I was going to come back to it, but yes, I was like, they look a little too red, but I think it's Gryffindor because I had the emblem and the gold stripe.
Yeah, my partner got them from Disney World. Disney World?
Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Are you a big Harry Potter nerd?
I mean, look, I've kind of jumped off the J.K. Rowling train, but yes.
Oh yeah, I'm 100% there with you. Still love Harry Potter.
I love the art, hate the artist.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah, that's
correct. No. I've already bought the book, so I don't have to spend any more money on her.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. But again, that's probably not a topic that we should delve too deep.
Apparently not. No.
Any regrets?
Probably not going hard.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go hard. Like I even though I knew there was only like 2 nights, it felt like there should be more time. Like it felt like there was more time, whereas in reality, like it went so quick that I didn't build those relationships anywhere near quickly enough as I should have. So I would stay awake and maybe chat to some people a bit more, I think. And maybe, I don't know, not trust Dale with an idol. I don't know. Keep that.
Hide an idol in your boobs. Come on.
I know. I have them too.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said last week. I was like, she has boobs. It's not like she can't hide them. As from Jules and I, who both have boobs, like we're like, I just hide it. It's like so easy.
I really did think it was like a bonding thing, and I was like, I've given him this idol. Like we're set. We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. I totally understand that.
Fucking Dale.
Fucking Dale.
I think that's the most common phrase I've heard this podcast. Fucking Dale.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Don't trust Dale.
Yeah,
That's
right.
right.
I feel this.
That goes.
We're going to see that play out for sure.
Don't trust Dale.
All right, I think else. Yeah. Go.
So, Marita, did you have a Survivor player that you were trying to that you idolized and you were trying to play like? Did you have a pre-game strategy? Like, what were your thoughts process going into the game?
Oh, it's just because it didn't work at all and it didn't happen. But like, I was like, I'm going to do the Parvati thing.
Yes.
I even said that around the fire. I was like, favorite. I love her, and fucking her whole game's social, and I just failed.
Yeah, I'm a poverty stan.
Yeah, like, you know, I was like, I'll get in with all the boys, and you know, I'll be fun and nice and whatever. No. So yeah, that was my whole plan. My whole plan was social, and I was like, I'll do puzzles because I'm not a physical person, and I'm good at puzzles. So I was like, oh, I'll put my hand up for the puzzles every time.
Yeah. And was that something that you reiterated to your tribe, that you are really good at puzzles, and that's an attribute that you have?
Yeah, I did, but mostly I didn't want to be like, I'm really good at puzzles, but mostly because I didn't want to do any of the physical stuff. Yeah. I didn't want to be running. I didn't want to jump through tires. I didn't want to do any of that. Like, just watching them all do that, I was like, not me. So I'll do the puzzle. So, you know, that was mostly the reason that I was like, no, I'm good at puzzles. Otherwise, I would have just kept my mouth shut, because puzzle people never go well.
Yeah. If you fuck it up, you're done.
Yeah.
Especially so early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was, I mean, that was lucky with the first one, because we did quite well at that puzzle. Like, it actually was quite close.
You did. You caught back up quickly.
That was just because Tash, like, theirs fell, and then Tash, like, threw herself through a tire, and it's all of a sudden caught up. Insane.
Sorry, look at John's comment.
I'm just saying.
Right.
Hashtag fucking Dale.
Fucking Dale.
Yeah. I'm just whatever. I'm sure I'm not the last person to say it. It's fine.
Yeah, I hope we hear it more often.
Yeah, can someone tally how we go through the season?
Sorry, Dale.
Sorry, Dale. We love you, but
I don't want it to become a hashtag.
It's a night. We're poking fun at him, you know.
Yeah. We're enjoying him. He definitely seems to be a character. I mean, it made for the twist of the episode. I mean, he saved his own butt, really, at this point, because it was looking like the vote was going to be between himself and Ash.
Yeah,
he saved himself. So
yeah,
smart.
So
It just robbed us of you.
I mean,
so what did you think was happening for that vote? Did other people tell you it was just going to be Dale, or?
Yeah, so I had an inkling that it could be me. I didn't think it was, but I had an inkling it could be, because literally nobody was giving me another name. So I was like, who does Dale think it is?
Right.
And everyone was like, oh, I don't know. And then Kate, I was standing by the fire, sort of putting some wood on, and Kate went, you know, I think you're right. I haven't heard your name out. And I was like, what an extremely weird thing to say.
Yeah.
I did have an inkling, mostly because of the whole, who does Dale think it is? If I think it's Dale, Ash thinks it's Dale. Everybody's saying Dale. Who's the alternative? But I honestly did think it was Dale. So I didn't actually, until afterwards, I was like, why didn't I ask someone? Like, why didn't I fight more? Because I was
2020.
Yeah, I was convinced it was Dale, but I did find it strange that, you know, nobody could tell me who Dale thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's also like you kind of also think like that twigs in your head, but you also don't want to push it and make yourself seem really paranoid in that moment.
I didn't want to seem like Dale was the episode before, like going, but what if it's me? And then it's not me, and then it, you know, so whatever. I have a question.
Dale has a question for you.
Oh, big fan here.
No, it was not me. I did not throw your name out. Somebody. Oh fuck! Now I don't know who it was.
It was 2 years ago.
Was it Ash?
I didn't. No, it wasn't. It was a girl. I don't know who it was. Somebody else said, because the original it was going to be Scott, and then like somebody had already said Scott, then Dale. Right. So somebody was like, so we're just going to keep going with that, Dale next. And I went, great. And then when somebody said to me, who do you want to vote for? And I went, well, I thought we were doing Dale.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well,
I didn't throw your name out. Somebody gave it to me. I don't know who it was.
Right.
But I would have happily voted for you, which I did. Oh, yes, Lika, I did.
You did.
Congratulations.
Yeah. It's been that long.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually his bedtime now, so I don't have to.
Do you need to go? Or you?
No, I don't have to do it today. I've given responsibility to his dad. That's fine.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I had a similar thing. I've got my two babies and they went to sleep by the time I came in here, and I was like, I have to go.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Marina, was there anything that we didn't see in that episode? I'm thinking there's probably quite a few things considering how short the fucking episode was. But is there anything that like you were involved in, any conversations or anything that you just want to talk about that you think people should know?
Oh, I don't honestly.
Episode one from your whole time, not even just this episode. Even we'll talk about.
I think, given the conversation of last episode, I think it's important for it to be known that there were more reasons to vote for Scott. I mean, with my episode, I think it pretty much, I'd kind of forgotten what had happened. So these episodes are kind of reminding me of things that happened. I don't really think there's much else. But I think, I think it's people aren't just voting for one reason. There are a multitude of reasons, and there were lots of conversations that were had. And, look, I knew you were a cop. Look, I knew you were lying. Maybe I wasn't the only one. But in terms of my game, no, I think I've pretty much covered it. I think, the whole idol thing, hopefully I've explained that a little bit. Didn't work, but whatever. It was an idea I had, but that was pretty much it. I didn't really have a lot of time to, have too much gameplay to discuss, to be honest. So it was fun.
So
good. I'm glad you had fun. That's the best part of it. CK wants to know, how did you know he was a cop?
Sorry.
There we go.
Sorry.
So when we were getting our bags checked,
oh yes,
Scott was like, where are you putting the stuff? Who's going to be looking after the stuff? So anybody has access to the stuff. How can you verify that? Like, it's not gonna be and I was just like, that's so weird. Yeah, condom gate. It was just really, really weird. And so when I was talking to someone, and I was just like, is he a cop? Is there a cop here? And they were like, oh, I can't confirm, I don't know. And then after he left, I was like, are you a cop? I figured you're a cop. He's like, yeah, I'm a cop. I was like,
yeah, right.
Pretty obvious.
Yeah.
He has that vibe,
It's a hard thing to hide. I mean, Jules has it. I mean, we see Sarah call Tony at it in Cagayan.
Yeah.
It's a blue blood sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And also, yeah, no, it's fine.
What?
No, nothing.
This is where
I hope Scott doesn't think that the most interesting thing about him is being a cop, because that's
and that's what we tried to say last week.
It's really not. Like, it's not. Nobody, being a cop's not interesting, but you could be as a person.
No, and it's disappointing that his story has kind of whittled down to how he feels about his boot and why he thinks the reasoning why behind that is disappointing. Because we all really liked the vibe of him before we've seen the episodes play out. I had him pre-merge, but these guys both had him quite high into the game. From his pre-game video, like, we thought there was a lot of depth or character to him. I
hung out with him afterwards, and he was nice. Like, he was fine. He was salty, but he was fine. I just think, 2 years of maybe percolating that in his brain has made him a bit upset. But, I think he would have done really well as himself, and I think he should do it again. That's
exactly it. And that's kind of what I was trying to get at, is that, like, if he, and we said this to him last week, if he had been himself, if he hadn't tried to hide behind someone else, and he said that too, like, if I had come out and where they would just be myself, things might have been different. And he would have been able to form those relationships to then tie him and put him in better stead with the group.
Yeah.
Was there anyone that you were really rooting for without, like, giving anything away? Like, obviously you get voted out. Was there anyone that you really wanted to see sort of do well in their game? Anyone that you really liked?
I really liked Ash. I was really gunning for Ash. I wanted him to do really, really well. So it'll be good to see how he goes. But we got along really, really well. He was probably, the only person really that I had, that I would consider even like friendly with. Everybody, no, I mean, I was friendly with everybody, but like, we kind of got along really, really well. So yeah, I was rooting for Ash, definitely. And I got to see both tribes. So I was going for some people in the other tribe as well, but I don't want to spoil.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
When you were still in, like, were you getting a good read on what was happening on the other tribe, or you didn't really know what was happening?
No, because I don't think by the time I sort of got voted out, nothing was really happening on that tribe. Like they hadn't had to do anything. They hadn't really had to scramble or anything. So maybe I don't know if the other guys afterwards will pick up on any vibes from their tribe, but we just kind of got the idea that they were just having a good time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't have to go to tribal council. You go to tribal council, it's a good time.
Yeah, exactly. Like they were just chilling out and having fun.
Yeah.
Party.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything else for Marina?
Would you play another LRG?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know when. I don't have time. I got asked to do like a day one. But yeah, I'd love to. I think it'd be really fun, but definitely not in winter. Well, it wasn't even winter when we did it, but it was just fucking cold. But yeah, I'd definitely go. Maybe I'll do a couple of like the online ones, so then I know everybody. And then I'm the force to be reckoned with.
Yes, I love that for you.
Yeah, I would love to see you play the second time. I think your confidence will be through the roof, and I think just watching like the introductions to people, those little 3-minute videos that they put out, I was really rooting for you as a person and as a character within the game. So to see you play again, I would love to see how you adapt and how you grow going into a second time. So I really do hope that we get to see you play again. I think you do amazing, and I'll definitely be rooting for you.
I'd love to.
Before we go, you've got some questions from your fan base before we let you go. Before and after your vote off, who did you perceive as running the tribe?
Our tribe?
Your tribe.
I honestly thought it was Kate.
Okay.
But watching back, Caitlin. Caitlin? Caitlin.
Caitlin?
Caitlin.
Tash?
Caitlin and Tash, both.
Right.
But I thought it was Kate when I was out there. Kate was very, she was involved in lots of conversations. She was very quiet and calm, but like always being chatted to. But having watched, I mean, it could be the edit as well. I don't know. But yeah, it looks like it's Caitlin at the minute, I think.
Yeah. All right. And did you get much sleep after going to bed early?
No, it was fucking freezing and it was horrible. And I think I would have been better off by the fire.
Yeah.
Plus, you know what though? I think I slept much more than other people because I was one of the snorers. Ash was the really loud one. I got blamed for being the loud one, but that was Ash. But I was the second.
That also makes you a quick target in those games when people are struggling to sleep, people are snoring. It's like,
yeah. Ash was because everyone blamed me for being the loud one, but that was definitely Ash. I was the second one.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
What John says that they also found Kate to be sort of a queen bee.
Yeah. She was just real I don't think she was, from memory, I don't think she was that into Survivor. And I think I can't remember her being really into it. So maybe that helps.
Well, there was a comment earlier up that Annabelle was recruited from her Twitter presence and asked if she could bring a friend, which was Kate.
If she could bring a friend.
Yeah. So I sort of got that, even if it wasn't true, I got the vibe that she wasn't really into it. And I think maybe that helped her because she wasn't overthinking it. She was just kind of going with it. Yeah, I thought boss lady.
That's true. Like when you come in with a lot of knowledge, ideas about what you want to do and the ways and all the different twists and turns, it can really just be like, really
someone called Kate Regina George in a confessional. I love that.
Yeah. The vibe.
I
hope that's memed. When that comes up.
Yeah, one time she punched me in the face. It was awesome.
It was awesome. Yeah, can we make that like an Annabelle and Kate theme?
Yeah.
Annabelle would be like, one time she punched me in the face. It was awesome. That'd be fantastic.
Oh.
So how quickly did you go to the challenge after like waking up on that sort of second day?
I don't know. What was the challenge? The tug of war one. I think it was
the first one.
Oh, the first one.
What was the?
Yeah. I think we got up really early. I think they said to us like 6 a.m. they were waking us up, but I think it was ages before we went to the actual tribal. It was still early. But I think it was like a lot longer that we were just like hanging around going, could have been sleeping, or strategizing or something. Yeah, it was pretty early, I think.
Yeah.
And then you kind of there is a lot of hanging around, and I imagine that's true of the normal Survivor, but oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, within half
an hour.
It seemed like ages. I don't know. I can't remember. It was ages ago.
So when did the strategy actually start happening? Like, did anyone talk any strategy before going to bed, or did it start as soon as you guys knew that you were going to go to the first tribal?
It started pretty much straight away. We got back, but nobody sort of knew how to go about it. You sort of have a roped off area, so it's not like you can go off into the jungle.
Yeah.
So somebody was just like, I'm gonna go get water, and then like 3/4 of the tribe went with that person, and I was like, well, I'm gonna stay here, and whoever wants to stay here can strategize over here.
Yeah.
But the majority of the people went with, I don't know who it was. It was like, I'm going to go get water. So
yeah,
it happened quickly, but I don't think it happened organically.
Okay.
It kind of had to be, well, like, how do we start? Like, who do we, again, I think that's because we don't, I didn't know anyone, so I didn't want to throw out a name.
And it looks like the lentils were terrible for everybody. It's a theme running in the comments.
I should have snuck in salt. I didn't think to sneak anything in. Salt would have done.
Yeah, if you're gonna sneak anything in, salt's the way to go.
100%.
Oh, salt makes all the difference for lentils and rice. Salt and pepper for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody is not keen on the lentils. You didn't have a lentil king or a lentil queen on your tribe and knew what to do.
It took me ages before I had lentils again. And I only had it once. I had rice once, lentils once, and I went home and had a nice hot dinner.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, especially if you'd started off with the lentils being shit, it would. As I said, I was like, when I contacted you, I was like, well, at least you got to go home because you didn't see. Like once it started raining, I was like, oh, this is bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, I missed the rain. I was out by the rain, so it was fine.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Jules, Dani, do you guys have any more questions or?
I don't. I'm disappointed that you're gone, although I didn't rank you much higher. I'm sorry. I think I had you going to the next couple. But it's because I thought, because in your package, you were like, I'm going to be judgmental, and I don't know that I can make friends that quickly, and that's why I was like, I think you had to hide the face. As someone who has that kind of face, I could get why that can make you.
And Ethan thinks it's because you're close to retirement, so
Yeah,
it's not true. I apologize.
It's fine. It's fine. You look like a baby.
I am.
He is a baby. I appreciate you taking the time off, especially because you're on holiday. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us.
Especially like 2 reps after 2 years.
I know.
We got 45 minutes out of you, so that's more than you thought we would get.
Yes, definitely. I was like,
longer than the episode.
I literally dished up dinner. I'll be like, I'll be back in like 10 minutes. Good.
Thanks, Marina.
It was wonderful to talk to you. Have a good rest of your night.
Bye.
Bye.
Just quickly, I did not mean to call Marina an old woman. Okay, it was not my intention. I was just trying to ask a question, and I
look at your age. You think that we're all really old?
you know what? I'm just gonna move on.
That's probably safe.
Fucking Dale's gonna turn into fucking Ethan if I don't shut up. So
well, I mean, as much as we gave him shit, Dale is enjoying listening to us, which is good. Thank you for joining us live, Dale. We appreciate you joining in.
All the time.
It's meant with love, complete love.
Yep. You know what I want for the next episode? I would like Red to win a challenge, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Well,
what the challenge is?
But also, I feel like are we going to see a CK thrower challenge? He wants to get going. I mean, like I'm curious to whether we see the gamey people being like, yeah, fuck this, let's go.
Mate,
they're not like desperate to get anyone out. He wants to start playing, and I think there is going to be plenty of time. I think if there was one person on the outset, like we have to get this person out, he might consider it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But he came in. He wants to cause chaos. He wants to be a shit stirrer. Like what?
He lied on the plane. Like, who is this guy?
Like, I'm just curious. Like, yeah, I agree. Like, I think Yellow can go in and run here, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Adam's next out of both tribes. Fucking Dale.
Well, Dale and Ash were not on the right side of that vote, so I'd say it would have to be Ash. And then on the yellow tribe,
probably Chloe.
Yeah, I'd say Chloe, just because they talked about earlier, like they think Dale might have something. So, I mean, Brady. So Chloe's like a much easier vote. And even from this episode, we heard CK at least talk about who he thought would be a good vote. So,
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a yellow boot until a swap.
If there is a swap. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm assuming there's going to be a swap.
I think it.
I hope so.
But if it, like, also if it's continuing down this path where yellow are being wiped out, you got to shake it up at some point. We can't have like just a.
Yeah,
like,
even if they didn't plan a swap, if it's like, oh Jesus, we need to throw one in.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when they're seeing the challenges turn out like that in 11 to 12 seconds, you've got to start thinking on your feet.
Sorry, Ethan thinks every woman over 25 needs to be put in a home.
Guys, come on.
That's all right.
Thank you, Luca.
You know what?
Who said this? Who fucking said this? Who was it?
That was Luca.
Luca. Watch out. Are you over 25?
Right.
Like, I'll put you in a home.
Me?
CK
Am I over 25? Yes.
No, not you. Luca. Luca's over 25. They're getting put in a home. Well, apparently. Come on, guys.
We're never letting you live that down. You said that in the wrong room with the wrong people. It's just not a thing.
That's fair. Look, I'll take that L. It is what it is. I was very embarrassed. I felt like I could feel my body heating up how embarrassed I was. So I apologize again. Mistakes happen. 40 is not old. Can we just 40 is not old. Like 80, you're old. 40, you're halfway there. So, you're not old.
I think don't try to backpedal. You already said it.
I already said it.
Look, you're a baby. We are older, wiser women, and that's just the way that's going to go.
Yep. I agree. I agree. I definitely agree. What I thought was interesting, though, was this episode, there was subtitled, I think it was Caitlin or Tash saying, like, we hope it's not all physical challenges from, like, moving forward or whatever.
If they're all physical challenges, they're fucked.
Oh, they're so fucked. Yeah. I think it could be the way we're going. And they just voted out their puzzle beast. Yeah. So they're not looking like a strong.
They'll need like I don't know, something that needs light people. I don't know, be higher on a seesaw or something.
Or even like memory challenges or something like that, where they're like, I mean, I know that's kind of more individual, but just,
yeah, anything. They need something to save them. Honestly, they're not looking too good. So
yeah, I think somebody set up here before the Red Tribe are praying for a production interview. Which you would be like, can we have a twist, something? And you think you guys to help us? Because we said it in the beginning. We thought that even just looking at the tribe pictures, that yellow would be quite dominant. They seemed just instantly like they were going to work well together, whereas red seemed to be falling apart at the seams. And having to go back-to-back tribals is not ideal either.
Yeah, I am hoping for a swap next episode. Like, I think it would be a good time, especially with 2 eliminations being on the one tribe. But I'm not hopeful that it will happen.
I think we're at least another episode away from a swap.
I would think so, yeah.
Okay. You guys, you think at
least
one more?
At least one more.
I think maybe one more and then swap at odd numbers, and maybe we'll have some sort of like Exile Island or something. That could be cool. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a lot of like different stuff in there, like the idols at the challenges, which we haven't even been shown because they haven't been relevant yet. Which I'm like, might as well just tell us, and if no one goes for it, no one goes for it. It seems like that's going to be something that continues in the future of challenges, maybe, that there is an idol hanging from a tree, everyone's aware of it, and I think that's actually really interesting. Like, adds another thing to the game. Like, you think you're on the outs, like, run for the fucking idol. You're at least safe for one vote.
Yeah,
you know,
especially
it's a risk.
If you do think there are swaps on the horizon and you just need to get through one, well, save yourself for that one and get you one step closer to that point.
Yeah.
Tash is very defensive of her tribe today.
Tash, we love you.
Tash, we think you're fabulous. Look, you are voting relatively unanimously. I agree. We're just saying our initial assessment of you as a cast from the cast photos when you're on the mats. The red tribe does not look like a cohesive bunch, and the yellow tribe did. That was what that comment is for. CK says, imagine if someone went for it during the tug of war challenge and then
I think that's what we suggested. That would probably have happened.
I'd just give it to them at that point.
Yeah.
Just give them the idol.
Well, this challenge also had a Mexican chicken parma opposite the idol.
What? I'm
very confused.
Yeah. But if it did, I was running for it. There's food there.
Here we go. Dale wanted to burn another idol just to piss everybody off for his own entertainment.
Should have done it, Dale.
You should have. It would have been very interesting.
Hashtag fucking Dale.
I mean, I think we would have got the same result because he was going for Marina anyway, because he thought that was the target.
No, Marianne.
Not Marianne, sorry. Which again, he said before for a teacher. It's not great that he can't remember people's names.
Awkward.
That's right. I can't talk.
I'm Jules.
That's all my efforts. But yeah, I think we're at least another episode away from a swap.
Interesting.
So we've got 14 people left. I'll predict there's a swap at 13.
Yeah, okay. I predict if maybe not a throwing a challenge, talk of a throwing challenge at this point, especially because the amount of people on that yellow tribe who are keen to get going. They're talking about what they're going to do, but actually seeing it pull out is different. Because you can talk trust, but until you've done the vote and you've actually laid the lines, you don't know for sure. So that is my prediction for the next ep. If not a throwing challenge, talk of the throwing challenge.
Interesting. I'm going to say...
Since we've already spoken to Marina, you'll have to rewind.
I'm going to say that the swap is the next episode. And I had something else. But yeah, I want to say the swap's next episode. I was going to ask, what do you guys think the length of the episode will be? Are we saying above or below 30 minutes?
I hope it's above.
Above.
I like just some depth.
I hope that, this is an outlier where the rest of the season is pretty consistently around that 40-minute mark.
Yeah.
It just gives us more opportunity with more players.
Yeah, there's so many conversations that I had. I just want to hear some of them, obviously we can ask the person who was voted out about some of those conversations, but I want to be shown. That's one of the reasons I love Survivor so much, is because I like getting to see what people are talking about behind other people's backs, or the introspectives of like the different.
And like a 12-second challenge, like I don't mind that. don't care that much about the challenges anyway. I'm there for the drama and the
yeah, absolutely. So we're hoping that was just a one-off.
So like they're talking about the lentils
content.
and the rice being horrible. Show me the lentils and the rice being horrible and people being disgusted. A bit of personality, a little bit of like just some depth to the people. Like it's such an interesting cast. I want to see more of them.
Yeah, show us what both tribes think about the rice and the lentils, like, or about how they slept and just, you know, like anything.
Yeah, like that cult conversation was fascinating. I loved it. Like
that was hilarious.
I was such a. I mean, if the red tribe are lacking, you know, that's hard to pull it out if there's not those conversations.
Sorry, Brady.
Yeah, don't care about the challenge. I care about the challenge, and I was thoroughly sad when it was 12 seconds.
Well, that's because I'm not good at challenges, so you know.
I think we've said everything we can say about a relatively episode.
Well, we're an hour longer than the episode was.
Which just means we can all talk underwater.
No.
But we are still very excited to see the season play out. There's so many more characters I want to see more of. CK says he edited this episode and he kept every second in.
Wait, what? I edited. What does it mean?
Dale on the ropes, struggling in the first episode.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, right, sorry.
I was praying so hard not to cut the scene. Oh, yeah. I was Dale. I was very happy to watch all of.
that was highly entertaining. That's why Ethan roasted you so hard in the first episode because of your poor showing.
Yeah, sorry, Dale. Although Dale's done a good job so far, like his name's been thrown out both tribals.
He has been heavily.
He's turned it around and
he's matrixing it. Like...
He is. So if Dale makes it further in the game, even to the end, that's a great pitch to have. I think at the moment, for that tribe going to tribal twice, although Dale hasn't been in the dominant position to make all the decisions, he's avoided being voted off, I'd say twice, and having played an idol, even if it wasn't successful.
Yeah, big target moving forward. I think if they were to go again, he would have to scramble quite hard or find somebody else to not be the next to go for those reasons, because he has been a target of both tribals.
Do we think he'll flip if there's a swap?
Yes.
If he's around?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he should flip. Yeah, he doesn't have the core alliance that some of the girls seem to have on that tribe. I think he should flip if there's a swap.
He could be part of the bottom brigade with Laurel. Anyway,
any alliance that Laurel is part of, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. All right.
All right, loves. Thank you so much for joining us. As we always say, this Saturday, 2 p.m. will be season 3. And then we will be here again next week, 8:30, to talk the shit about it.
Yeah.
We look forward. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you.
For those watching later on, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Ending.